Hello, everybody. Welcome to SketchCraft. It's SketchCraft Live, and I am here, Rob D, getting ready to color some Batman. Joining me to talk about this is Brandon. Super excited for no reason, James.
You scared the shit out of me. You didn't even tell me, hey, we're going to start recording. It was just like silence and then, hello. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I
All
know. I
right.
was hoping that I might startle you.
It did. It did. It
Yeah.
did.
That was the effect I was going for. So mission accomplished.
Hello to everyone.
All right, everybody. So, um, here we are, right? We got
What do you got
Batman
left to do?
background and then highlights, stuff
Ooh,
like that.
Distress Ink for the background, right?
Yeah, distressing. So
Oh, yeah.
here's my test I did months ago. Um,
I'll catch up here.
it didn't store in the didn't store it in a atmosphere-proof place, so it's a
Oh,
little warped.
that's pretty.
But
That's
it's
pretty.
gonna look cool, right?
Yeah, it's got, I
Okay,
don't
I
know a
did
lot
it.
about art, but it's got like I don't want to say it's got that painted, it's cool.
Yeah, it
Like,
looks as though I used paint, and I did not use
yeah.
paint. Yeah, which was the goal.
Yeah. Achieved.
I did not want to learn how to paint with opaque medium. Like I'm like, I've learned enough.
Right.
So, so actually the background's going to be fairly simple. I'm going to start off using, uh, this is antique linen, but it's a mixture of this, my own mix with shabby shutters. It's a mixture. I call it antique shutters. So it's a custom color.
Is that the only that's the only test you did for just that one time? Like
Yeah,
one, yeah.
that's it.
Just to get like the general idea for it, right? It's not so much
Yeah,
have to be verbatim redrawn like that.
no, just so I know how I want this to roll.
Like, is doing this part the background's fun for you, or is it just like any other task when you're doing the art? It's just another step.
It's fun. It can just be a little strain on your arm.
Right.
This part's all fun, dude. The stress. Hey, what's up, Josh? Josh White's in the house.
Hey, Josh.
No, the stressful part is really always the construction. Once the construction and whether this actually will look like what I hoped it would look like.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you make a decision to draw a giant gun on Batman, if you're willing to accept the 10% of people out there who have an issue with that, I figure whatever.
Right.
It's like I was telling one guy, I was like, I don't actually hold any sway with DC, right? Like no matter what I do, it doesn't change whatever
Right.
happens in the books. Like,
Yeah.
do you know that? Because I don't know if these people know that. you know, I don't know. It can all just be too real. You know.
Pretty much. I'm gonna mute myself just for 1 minute, real quick.
Rob, am I going to get Final Fantasy 15, or am I not a fan of it being live action rather than turn-based? I'm thinking about getting it in a while for another RPG. Yeah, I don't care about the act. The gameplay doesn't interest me in any. I played all the demos. I like my RPGs turn-based. You know, like the most, like the first Valkyria Chronicles. That was dope. You know, and I hear you, man. I would like some more RPGs, but they're basically all on the 3DS. So.
All right, I'm back. What blue is that for the distress ink?
It's two blues: Salty Ocean and Broken China.
The names on it.
Yeah, they use custom names.
Hey, Attila.
Honestly, Josh, I'm more interested in Planet Coaster right now than I am in Final Fantasy 15.
Is that the one you're talking about where you can build these giant roller coasters?
Not just the roller coasters, but you really can design the park to the point where you can spend a lot of time just doing like you can lay out every plant. You know what I mean? I can go in there and really do landscaping. Like I love the architecture of Disneyland, like Imagineering. So being able to go in there and actually really just focus on putting all the shrubs and they got tons of different kinds of bushes and trees and plants, and all sorts of shit you can do to theme it out. You know? Yeah. Seems like a lot more fun than Final Fantasy 15, man. I was giving them a benefit of the doubt. I like the director, but I just not my thing, man. Game plays itself.
And I won't be getting it because it's not my cup of tea. Man, I love the distress inks. They're just so vibrant. And like, I know people are watching it, but man, they gotta. If you see us at a con, come up and ask to see some of these distress ink original art. It's just
It
so
allows me to
vibrant.
paint without having to paint. I can finally create the kind of art that I love, like the Joe Jusko, Brian Stelfreeze stuff, Norm Brave. Like Stelfreeze did those paintings over Norm Bravevogel's art and shit too, dude. Like, it's just stuff that like a Marvel masterpiece. Like I can actually make that shit without having to sit down and spend another 20 years figuring out a fucking airbrush. You know,
Right.
which I was gonna do, and then I was like, I just fuck that. Like I can't. I draw the line somewhere. You know. I mean, it gets me pretty close, dude. You know, close enough. I don't have to be as good as those guys. You know,
Right.
I don't have to be Alex Ross. I don't give a shit. You know, but being able to. Plus, man, like, look, you can buy these distress inks and not do shit with them. So if you don't understand color, I can't help. You know what I mean? It doesn't do the work for you. So there's that too. I watched Brandon fumble a few times. Like, oh no. Just sit down and be like, hey, dude, what you doing?
Right.
Gonna play some Pokemon Sun yet? Brandon, have you been able to play a Pokemon?
I played for maybe, I want to say 2 hours on Thanksgiving or the day after. So like not like 2 hours straight, but like I got in maybe
Friday
20
nights
minutes.
are your gaming night from now on.
Okay.
I have to have Brandon actually playing video games.
I got about I say 2 hours in.
Friday night's
Um,
your night to play games.
all right.
You still have to
But
work after volleyball.
no, I know.
Or
Um,
would you rather do Thursday night after volleyball? Would you rather play games?
I'd rather work.
You feel more hyped up after the exercise?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Um, yeah, I mean, because I got like 30 minutes on Thanksgiving, 20, 30 minutes, and then maybe 40 minutes an hour on the day after, but I I just been so busy, you know.
Yeah, well,
I
from
no,
now
I'm not.
on, from now on, moving forward, you don't draw on Friday nights. You play video games.
I guess.
That's
I
your new
guess I can handle that.
SketchCraft. I need Brandon
No,
to be able
but
to participate in gaming discussions.
all right. I want to. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about
And I'm not
Pokemon
gonna
moving
fucking play
forward.
Pokemon. So
Oh, dude, it's so. I'm not gonna go over it now because I know you'll want me to review it on the thing, but I like it.
you can go
It's
over it
just
now. It doesn't matter.
okay. It's weird. It's little changes that just subtle shit that makes it a lot better. The way you run around and roam the towns.
On this
Uh,
one, you can save. It's amazing. Like
yeah,
oh,
it's
features. Like,
there's some new stuff I don't like. There's like these new little you gotta like, and I'm not good at it because I just don't care because I'm like, no, fuck that. But you gotta like take care of your Pokemon as far as like brush them and give them treats and
that sounds like fun.
show them care.
Uh,
I'm like, you know what? I'm not raising my
does it have a
little
microphone where you can like compliment it?
right. It's got brushes and like all kind of shit. I'm like, I'm not, nah. Uh, it's cool. I mean, it looks nicer. I like the look of it. It's nice. It's fun to play so far. But yeah, I haven't done any of that. Like every time I go to like brush my Pokemon or something and it gets all snooty, I'm like, whatever, dude. Fine. Just be all mangy. I don't care. I mean, I use these things to beat other Pokemon into submission, so they don't need to look pretty. Josh says, LOL, I'm about 28 hours in now. They did a great job with this one, totally revitalizing the series like a breath of fresh air. Yeah, it's, I haven't, I'm nowhere near that amount of time, but it is nice. I'll have to figure out,
So
I'll
does
have
it
to
have
write
turn-based
down,
battles?
yeah,
Yeah,
if you
and,
battle
and, and
someone,
and they sell millions of copies, right?
yep,
Yeah. Okay. Just saying.
yeah.
Just saying.
Just say it's still
You
alive.
know, this whole
It's
like we
still a
can't
good
do
formula.
turn-based battles because no one will buy them. Just fucking horseshit. You know.
Yeah,
I'm like, what
yeah,
about Pokemon?
yeah.
Well, that's Pokemon. Is that the sole exception? Man, that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to that Battle Chasers game. We were talking about that last night after you got off.
Hmm.
You know, it's not only the turn-based. My only fear is that it might be too fucking hard. Like they might up the difficulty to kind of compensate for I don't want to say lack of content, but the inability to create you know Diablo levels of content due to the limited budget. Right? Sometimes they ratchet up difficulty, and I hope it isn't unfun to play because of that. But that's a minor fear. But it's turn-based, so. But yeah, Pokemon's turn-based. Doesn't ever seem to hurt the sales.
Right. No, it's I'm gonna have, like I said, I'll have to, before I give an actual like review or talk about it on the cast, I'd have to sit down and write my thoughts down. But it is, so far, just playing it does feel like a whole new thing, like a whole, like you said,
Whole
breath of fresh
new
air.
world, Breath of the Wild. Oh, that's Zelda.
I wouldn't know that. I
It's
mean, I
called
know
Breath of the Wild.
I have some Zelda games, mostly Ocarina of Time. I like that one.
The new one.
So yeah, when the new
Well, it's gonna
Nintendo
be on
Switch comes
Wii U.
out.
It'll be on Wii U as well.
Uh, Once you told me that Pokemon might, I'm
The
like,
word is it's called Pokemon Stars.
I'm all for it, man. I told you, I've always wanted to just play Pokemon on my big screen TV. That's it. Like actual, not Pokemon Rumble and not Pokemon Dungeon. Actual, Like if they took Sun and Moon and they just put it on the big, like if I could just hook up my 3DS to the TV somehow. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm sure there's ways or something, but if I could, it'd be awesome. Yeah. Josh says that the fact that they totally got rid of the HMs is a godsend. You know, it's. I
What are
hate.
HMs?
Um, shit.
Look, the last time I played Pokemon was the original Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow. It was Red and
Oh
Blue.
wow.
I
Oh
bought
wow.
I well, it was the game that I picked in 1997. I knew it was coming out, and I'd been reading up on it in the trades. They were trying to call it Pocket Monsters in the States, but Galoob sued Nintendo before they could release it. So it got delayed because of the lawsuit, because they had Monster in my pocket. And I was working at a toy
Uh,
store. I'm like, this is going to be a big fucking thing. And they're like, we don't make money off game sales. We don't give a shit. But I was like, if only I could bet on games being selling well. You know, this is like 1997, you know?
yeah.
You know, there wasn't any DraftKings where you could just bet on anything. So, um, so when I was in the Army, I ended up joining the Army in 98. Got stationed in Germany, and finally was able to, when Pokemon was finally released, bought a blue copy and a red copy. And we were downrange. My buddy Richard, the one who's been on the cast, he was stationed with me. And so I was like, "You get this one, I get that one. You go build up your Pokemon, then we'll battle, you know." And that worked great, but um, it didn't interest me in the long run. Like I kind of got bored with it. But Richard fucking loves it, so I'm more of like a strategy guy. Like Pokemon is like you have to be into like collecting. Collecting isn't quite what I like to do in a game. I don't feel like I have to get every little thing. What I like to do is play against the game continually. You know, like chess.
Right. An HM is like it teaches a Pokemon to move. Usually, you need it to like, let's say if there's like a boulder in your way, you would teach your Pokemon Smash, or if there's grass you can't get through, you would teach your Pokemon Cut. It's called a hidden machine, is what the HM stands for. But it's like a move that they can't forget, so if they need to fly or swim or something. It's just teaching it moves and shit. Let's see. Matt Curry says, "What up, people?" And Josh White, oh, he's talking about the HM. HMs are moves that you have to teach your Pokemon in order to get through the environment. He said what I said. You need to teach the move Cut to cut down trees in your path. Waste of a move slot. So, like, let's say you have a badass Pokemon that's a fire Pokemon, which are my favorite, and you got all these badass fire moves, but you want to use them all the time. You teach him Cut. So now he can cut through trees. It's like, really? Like, they're not needed. So it just, they're trying different things with this one, and I like it so far. I like the look of it. I like the extra games you could play, customizations and stuff. Plus, I just like naming my Pokemon dumb shit. I like collecting Pokemon, and there's one Pokemon. I don't remember his real name. I'd have to look it up, but he's got like this blonde mullet that slicks back over the top, and I named him Trump because he's got these sharp razor teeth, squinty eyes, and he's got a yellow mullet that slicks back and goes all the way down his back and flips up. So I just named him Trump. That's what it reminded me of. So I
And he
just like
keeps
name.
winning all
Yeah,
these stupid battles. I don't.
and then I got a Rattata or whatever it is that I named Splinter. So it's just goofy dumb shit like that. Just fun. Keeps me young. That's about it. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm guessing Matt Curry, who joined the room, is a Batman fan because his emblem is Batman. What color are you going over it right now with?
Salty ocean.
Uh, is that what you use for the darker corners, or?
That's black.
Oh, okay. I like how they blend. The even when you add the black, it still isn't pure black. It has a nice blend to it.
The foam pads
Yeah.
solve a lot of that problem.
Matt says every time I have ever tried to play Pokemon, I just stop after a bit. Yeah, that's happened to me with the last one. I was playing it for a while, and then for some reason, I don't know, I got really busy, and then I just couldn't. I didn't get back into it, and then right before I bought this one, I played it.
See, that happened to me with the last two Mario games, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. But
Uh huh.
then, like, the Mario 3DS came out and 3DS Land came out. And I beat it all the way through, and I was like, what is it? And I'm like, this is what it is. I can play this fucking thing anywhere I go. So when the Wii U came out, and you could play the fucking Mario games on the gamepad anywhere in your house, within a reasonable distance, I was able to beat the fucking games. Being tethered to that TV, look, I have a giant TV. I enjoy it. It's awesome. But um, being able to play the fucking thing anywhere,
Yeah.
for me, like, especially like right before, because I get tired after I play games for like about 30, 40 minutes. I get tired. So being able to just be right in bed and pass right out is nice. You don't have to walk all the way up the fucking stairs and shit. And then I can take it downstairs and play it on the TV during my lunch and then go back to work, vice versa.
All right.
I end up playing a lot more 3DS games. I played a lot. I mean, in terms of, I've actually beaten quite a few just because of that, you know.
Yeah. The Wii U Mario that came out, was it Super Mario Brothers 2? Sure, the last one that came out. I like
The 2D
replaying that a
one.
lot. Yeah,
3D
like
one. See, I like the 3D one more. So I think I've just after Mario World and Mario Land 2, the
mhm.
Golden Coins, it hasn't really gotten better the 2D Mario games for me. So really like 3D Land. The smaller level structure with the 3D is amazing. 3D Mario World on the Wii U is fun. Um, but I'm hoping the next one's a little bit more exploratory, like Mario 64.
Right.
But we shall see. See, 30 minutes, just to
Uh-huh.
stamp that shit out. It's quite effective.
This guy's gonna love this piece of art. He better.
It wasn't hard to do. What was hard was I mean, when I took this commission, I didn't have distressing. I didn't have that even. It had been sitting on my desk for a year. Like, I know I
Right.
can do shit with this. I don't know how to do it yet. I bought them all, and then they sat there. My wife would just look at them. We needed to spend all that money on this. Just fucking leave me. Don't tell me. I know what I'm doing. There's a method. Finally got a little bit of props from her this week because I'm working on a T-shirt for her
Right.
work, and I explained to them at the meeting, the initial meeting, and to her how this was probably going to roll. You know, all the things that because they were going to come up with stuff, and I'm like, I just walked through all the pitfalls. Like here's it'll go like this. Da, 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 da. You hand me this, then I'll do that, and be aware of this, and be aware of that. And so she went to the internal meeting they had about where everyone can sort of chime in and give their 2 cents. And she's like, it went exactly. She was just sitting there like,
Like you almost called it play by play, like you're in the room.
yeah, like I went
Like
into the
in a,
future, saw it,
it,
came back, and then like
it was
Groundhog
like,
Day, like.
or maybe like Boondock Saints when the cops figuring it all out, reenacting it when they put their headphones on, like you were there in the room. You just you just knew how it went down.
I've done so many, Upside is, just like and then they came with some ideas that were so incredibly simple. I'm like, it's okay because my minimum rate is this much. So if they want to pay me to put nothing on a shirt, great. Like
Right.
this is not something that I'm like, oh my god, this is my thing. Like I've done enough. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm helping out. Team spirit.
Team player. Josh White says, "Damn, I'm mad jealous of the guy getting this commission." Me too, Josh.
Yeah, the guy who
Me
getting
too.
it, he's an interesting dude, man. Like he's totally appreciative on the phone, right? In person, he's a hard read, right?
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell when he picked up the last one. I was like, I looking at him, he was quiet, and I mean, he's nice, but when he picked it up, he was real quiet, and I'm like, "You like it, right?" He's like, "Yeah." All right, cool. I'm like, "All right, like, all right, dude."
You're talking about the one I did at Vegas Con
Yeah,
last year.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, he was real nice. He just hard to read. Like you said, I couldn't tell if he liked it, didn't like it. He was just, but he said he really liked it, obviously, because he came back and bought this, another one, and he paid in advance, and
Even then, it's he's a hard read.
yeah,
He's like, "Are you sure it's gonna?" And just I'm like, whoever you're used to getting commissions from, I assure you, you're getting a steal. You paid nothing for this. Like
yeah.
he really did. I'm basically giving him free art, but I'll be making my money back on the line arts and the prints, and the fucking prestige because this looks like a painting. You got
Oh
to
yeah.
see what it looks
You
like
need,
from my like guys. You got to see even from here.
make
I'm like,
a.
wow, it would look like Rob actually painted this fucking thing.
I think you need to definitely do how you did the Jean Grey, where I don't know if it's metallic look or whatever, where the golds pop, that
Yeah,
gives it that shine.
I'll have a few different things.
Do it so I could have one. Damn it, I want it now. Matt Curry says, "I think this is one of my favorite ones you've done. I've been going through your backlog of videos."
Well, let's be honest. It's Batman. One, two. Um, this is just a combination of a bunch of new techniques. You know
It's the
that
goddamn
they
Batman.
they take like 100 different commissions of different techniques, right? And then assembling them new ones together, right? That kind of shit. So, yeah, and not being rushed when everyone's like, I don't know, man, you spent a lot of time. Like, just don't worry about how much time I'm spending. I'm not, you know.
I said, yeah, I think my favorites are where this style is more dominant, the blocky feet, etc.
The art style, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been nice to get back to doing what I've been wanting to do with my art
shape play
versus
or shapes.
versus drawing what I get paid to do from like publishers. You know,
And what kind of white pencil is that?
it's just white charcoal. Word of advice on using white charcoal: you can use white charcoal or white Prismacolor. You can't use both. So if you want a super opaque white thing, you got to use the white charcoal. You can use white ink with it, but you can't mix Prismacolor with it. They don't blend. One has wax, one is graphite or charcoal, whatever, you know? It's like oil and water. But being able to get back to like how I wanted to draw things, that kind of goes back to when I. That's why I did the saucies
Hmm.
because I wanted to draw the Deathstroke and you know what I mean, the Nightwing, and get back into designing things. Like I kind of was getting back to it when I first did the Avengers saucies, where I kind of like designing characters, but you know, man, like I gotta be honest, dude. My T-shirt slash comics career, video game magazine thing, just ruined a lot of my like ideas about art. You know,
I mean, you were creating, but you weren't creating what you wanted to create. You were forced to have to do things a certain way. I mean, were creative because you made some badass shirts, but you weren't able to do what you do now, where you can just create shapes and designs and things you want.
yeah, I haven't even got started. Like this is all like pretty elementary stuff. This is just getting down a lot of the basics. Like over the next year, you know, moving, especially moving out here, has allowed me to not force myself to go look for other employment. You know, so it frees up a lot of mental problems too, of like stressing about I gotta fucking pay for food. You know, like so it's exciting. You know, I definitely think I want to go back at some point and do Copic versions of the Deathstroke and the Batman Beyond, Nightwing.
Hmm. It's cool that pencil can just go over the distress ink.
Oh yeah, it's charcoal, baby. Just gotta get used to that sound. The fucking sound. Like yeah. He was like, Agus has to have a gargoyle. He was just thinking a gargoyle. I put a gargoyle. People are like, that looks like Bronx. I'm like, hashtag intentional. That's how I'm
Right.
answering that response now. You know? Are you getting a gargoyle? So let me. And then we can use the jelly pen.
Jelly.
That little lightning details.
Matt asks, perhaps I missed it somewhere, but do you guys have a set time you do live, or is it whenever you have time?
Um, I did until I moved, and now every day seems to be a little different.
I'd
It
say
will
9 o'clock is
it
a good
will
time.
settle it will settle in, but moving forward, the goal is between noon and 1 during the day till 5 my time. So right now my time I'm mountain, right? So it's 10:44. So it'd be like 1 to 5 during the day, and 8 or 9 to midnight at night. The mornings are my time to work on things I'd rather not stream or writing or so. I'm usually working by 8 a.m. in the morning. It's just I've been jumping between things, projects around the house at that time versus working on things. In case in point today, like one of those took longer, you know,
Right.
than they've been planned on taking. And that's Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends it's random. I leave that time open to the wife to see whatever she needs done, and then whatever when that's done, I get back to work.
Yeah, man says, thank you. I'll try to hop on more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and if you ever have any other questions, Rob answers pretty much everything, even life questions, health questions, you name it.
Yeah, we generally make art tip videos. Unless it's Brandon's eating habits, and we just harass him for 4 hours a night.
That's how you do it.
This is how I do it.
Matt says, "Yeah, I found this channel recently, and I'm trying to get back into doing art full time. I've grown quite rusty, so it's been nice to watch other people's process."
Yeah, dude. Like I said, if you have any questions or if you're like, hey man, what do I do to do whatever, feel free. I'm not one of those guys where you're like, don't talk. I'm
Yeah,
trying to concentrate. I mean, look, if I don't want to talk because I really am trying to concentrate, I'll just turn my mic off. You'll get the hint. But I never like. I think I'm pretty approachable, right, Brandon? Given the amount of artists on the internet,
pretty much.
pretty much. Unless you're Brandon, then I'm not that approachable.
No, not even when you're in my own apartment.
Isn't that nice? I'm consistent. You would think
Yes.
that's probably when I would be like, hey, we can hang out. No, no.
Let's see. Josh said, "Yep, Rob is great to learn from. I've picked up a ton of new techniques from watching his stuff." Yeah, that's one good thing about you, Rob. You don't hide things like a lot of artists in the industry do, where it's like, "No, this is my secrets." Where they'll be like, "I'm going to draw Batman," and they do a couple loose lines, and then before you know it, like half of it's done, and they're like, "Oh yeah, why'd you skip that part?" Well, it's my own little secrets. Um,
I'd like to say it's because I'm really generous, but the fact is I forget how to do half this stuff.
all right.
And so this YouTube channel the whole point of this was because I'd forget. So when I want to remember how to do something, I just come back here and watch it or listen to myself explain it at the time because I won't remember.
Right. Let's see. Matt said I used to do a lot of illustration, comics, graphic design, trying to get back to it. I'm building a new portfolio slowly but surely. Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah,
It's good
I
that
like
you
it.
don't give up. I mean, I'm 31 and I'm still trying. And he says also, thanks. What printer did you end up getting actually after the recent catastrophe?
We got the Pixma Pro 100. Required a lot of effort to configure the color. It has a different ink set
Hmm.
than the older ones, which I'm not a big fan of, but I got it to work. I'll have to make a video at some point about that.
That should be one of your slogans. I got it to work.
I did. It took an entire night. That's one of those nights everyone's like, I think I can work on that Batman. No, I spent the whole night fucking with that printer. Yeah. Well, why? Well, because I had to print the lines out for the Batman, and I couldn't do that until the printer was fucking working. That took all night. That took all night.
Yeah, it's looking better. Matt says, it's been hard, man. I just turned 39 and I've been out of the game a while. I'm sticking to it.
Well, I'm 38, so don't stress about that. I don't really care about age anymore, dude. You know what I mean? Like, most of the guys I grew up with are still drawing great. You know, like, you can. Some guys, I mean, Capullo just broke in 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Pushing 50. So, I mean, he's been in, but you know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
mean, I was like, Capullo, who? What's Spawn? Oh, that old shit? You know, I'm like, yeah, it was fucking me. Oh, you guys. So, I think at this point, it's about just having really cool art. Make you feel like people think you're young, you know? Quite frankly, 38 is pretty young, all things considered. Really, I mean, like I'm 10 years into my pro career, but if you want to call it that, uh, a lot of guys when I was a kid told me don't even get into comics until you're 30. Like go live life, learn to draw, do things, and in a way, that's sort of what I ended up doing in a lot of ways, you know.
Hmm.
So it helped. Didn't help in the money and fame, but
What's that?
certainly helped having done a wide variety of stuff, you know. Like the experience I have in other aspects of art has really helped out. Yeah, but that was the house style. You know, like I think you got to understand at the time too, he was taking over X Force, and those books needed to maintain that Jim Lee look because that's what was selling. So that wasn't so much him mimicking as him being part of the team. You know, and I think when he came over to Spawn and did issues 16, 17, 18, they definitely were more Jim Lee-ish in terms of the construction. So then McFarlane brought him on board full time, and then McFarlane did breakdowns and Capullo did cleanup for a number of issues without any real even credit on that because he didn't want to freak out. Todd didn't want to freak out the readers. But if you go back on those X Force issues, they're the best drawn X-Men books after Jim Lee left. Like this, they're really well put together. It's a shame he was stuck with those stupid alternate costumes. You know what I call like the sci-fi costumes. You know, they're a little too. They're not like the traditional X Force looking things.
Right.
And I have extensively.
I I went over the Batman, mine, uh, on the computer just to get some of the try to form the 3D shapes of the head and the shapes and the eyebrows and the cheekbones, and then I printed it out lighter, and then I'm just using the 005 to just kind of sketch out some of the shapes to see if I'm building it right. So I might just send you a picture just to send you one just so you see them. But I know like the lines aren't clean. It's just more of me trying to build the shapes, the middle line down his body, the nose underneath, all that stuff. That makes sense? Am I
Yep.
explaining? Okay. Sometimes I don't explain it well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had the original X-Force costumes, or the ones we kind of remember. Because the Cables is not kind of the one I think we remember. Like the one I think is sort of classically known as Cables, like what you kind of see with the pads, but then you're thinking they're more tied into the blue and gold scheme. Like he wore a lot of green camo
He
and
had
weird.
green and the
Yeah,
green and that
but the
tan.
way I kind of remember is more like a cross between what Kubert kind of did, or was it Romita Jr. and Marvel versus Capcom. Like Cable's a little bit different for me. I kind of remember him being more, I don't know, blue and goldish, but it's not the case. Right. So in my mind, it's like the Marvel versus Capcom, but add in the shoulder pads, and color them. Like it's weird. It's like my memory of him is not the one that actually exists. Guess what's coming to Universal Studios?
Uh, I have no idea.
Nintendo Land.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Official. To all three: Japan, Orlando, and Hollywood. They'll get that built quick. Those Universal Studios people, they don't fuck around. They work crews 24 hours a day. I was reading a whole
Jeez.
thing about it, like versus Disney. Like Disney works just business hours.
Uh huh.
At night, they work their crews 20. They shut off an area and just work them to get the shit out there. Kind of appreciate that.
Okay, I'll send this to you.
Favorite Kilo costume? Why is this still a new mutant section? Yeah, I like it too. I think though, I'll tell you the one that I like the least. Well, I can't say that because I stopped reading Marvel comics around 2001. But there's that issue. I like the issue a lot. It's the one McFarlane drew, Spider-Man 15, I think it was. Where the X-Force is in there, and they're in the World Trade Center gets blown up, dude. They're in that one. Yeah, that was amazing. And but he had like he's in this all armored outfit that's just, I don't know, man. It's not even like, it's weird. It's hard to call that armor. Just giant metal thing. Let me see the phone.
So it's not, it's just me trying to draw shapes.
Yeah, that's better. Make sure the bat symbol. I didn't draw it right the first time, and that diamond that's on his lower pecs should be in between it, not off to the
Not
right.
separate. Okay, gotcha.
It's no, it's just a little bulge in the center.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to move the
No, that
emblem.
symbol needs to. It needs to be. Needs better work.
Okay.
The ends should hang down lower than the tail.
Okay.
So on the right side, my right, looking at it, it should curve around more. So the distance, see how it's way thicker?
Uh-huh.
The yellow part's thicker on the right, and on the end it's thinner. On the
Hmm.
right, it needs to come around to the same length as the
Okay.
one on the left.
Okay, yeah. There's too much thickness between the wing and the
Yeah,
circle.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, there. X there.
And the pecs probably should come up a little bit. It should be down
Up with the
about
pecs.
a half inch. You see what I mean? They're too low. Look where the emblem is.
Uh-huh.
They should be up higher.
Okay.
So you'll probably have to add some ab stuff based off prior.
Gotcha. Add abs.
Using my anatomy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not I don't know where you get it from anatomy.
From looking in the mirror. The sweet
Yeah.
rocket bod.
Why does everyone look like the Pillsbury Doughboy?
It's dad bod. That's what it's called. Dad
You're
bod.
not a dad.
Yeah, you don't have to be a dad to have a dad's bod.
That makes no sense.
Most
You
pop culture
millennials.
references don't.
Millennials. Everyone gets a participation trophy. I get to have dad bod, even if I'm not a dad.
Yes. All right, round 2, Batman. He said, yeah, the Spider-Man teens. Oh, this. I don't. Matt says the Spider-Man teen issues were cool. Team ups were cool, but team ups were a bit sometimes ridiculous.
Yeah.
Times 11 episode. All right, I gotta get ready for bed. Get my lunch ready for my work. Chat tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Look forward to seeing the picture of it tomorrow. Night, everyone.
Later. Oh yeah, those were cool. The limited color. Gregory Wright's colors were amazing. You know, complemented the line art. Versus now when they Photoshop the living shit out of those lines and fuck up all the inks. Not all of them. It was the last issue Todd did, but Larson did several, 4 or 5 issues of Spider-Man after that. There was a year in between. So, there was a bunch of these little team-up issues he did with the Return of the Sinister Six and Beast and Ghost Rider. Night. No problem. Yeah, there's a 30-second delay. Yeah, there was a year. Well, no, no, yeah. Can't remember the release date. All I know is I was at Comic Con when they launched. That's a complete. Everything was there. So it was Comic Con '92 when they had their big booth. It was amazing. Yep, it really was about comic books. Yeah. Where did I put my other brush? Where did I put my other brush? I don't know where I put it. Yep, I got lured into the belief that you could become rich and famous being a comic book artist. You know, they suckered me. Little did I know we were in a giant bubble. You know, and even after the bubble crashed, I didn't fully understand that that applied to artists as well. You know, like it was kind of a fluke in a way. I mean, look, without it, you don't get The Walking Dead, right? So it's not a complete total. I mean, Image was the first time you really kind of got the sense of like there being like a Hollywood ness to comic books. But there was also the dream that you could create your own thing and become rich. You know, not that I was in it to money, but it was like, oh wow, you could make your own thing and become sustainable. And you know, you look at things like the Turtles, which preceded it, and you know. But as a kid, I only saw you know the success stories. But it was fun, simpler too. You know. All right, we can get rid of that. That away. Oh, at the very least, art's a great side thing. You learn to monopolize the internet a little bit, you can get a great side business going. You know, it's therapeutic. I quit trying to be a super pro a while back and just focused on bringing art to, you know, people, fans, people who could appreciate it more than publishers. Not to say I don't freelance, but it's very rare. I never had any. I really never thought I'd be a super successful artist. Like I just wanted to be good at drawing. So I knew I didn't have to starve because I could always just fucking get a stupid job somewhere and then just draw in my free time. I didn't end up in a starving artist situation until I started working in art full time. And they end up doing things like boxing you into specific little menial things. So when the work goes away, you're only known for doing one thing. Shit like that put me at a disadvantage. I wasn't freelancing or I didn't have myself out on the internet enough to leverage some of that stuff. But I learned my lesson pretty quick. Focus on producing the best art you can produce. Get it out there. Sell stuff, even if it's super cheap. Work your way upward. And then if you get job offers based on the kind of work that you're happy doing, perfect. If not, create your own opportunities. This past year, I mean, I really had no choice. Both my parents passed away, and just had like that Jerry Maguire moment where I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. What I will never do is take a full-time art job that is going to ruin my life and my portfolio ever again. You know, I paid off my student loan, so I hold no obligations to getting a full-time art job at this point. And student loans did a bigger damage on me than art jobs. The amount of money that fucking shit. I got a bailout because between both my parents' inheritance, I was able to sort of pay it out. But sucks that that's what it went to. But freedom, freedom. Biggest mistake I ever made. It's the only thing I'd go back and fix. when we were at Play. Right up till the end, dude. 2007, 2008, up till the day we shut doors. I was working on the cover for issue 100, No More Heroes 2. So no one really knew it was coming. I actually drew the final cover. Mass Effect 2. The one after is a European publication that has nothing to do with. They just aped the entire logo and look. I think what happened was is when they went to bankruptcy, Dave sold that off to someone and it went to Europe. He bought Girls of Gaming. It's all right, man. You know, it's one Christmas. It's Christmas 2014, my dad, and then literally 1 year later, Christmas 2015, my mom. So kind of changes your perspectives on things, you know. Right. Yeah, that's understandable, dude. You know, they just run you into the ground. You know, and you're working like 80 hours a week, you know, and then when you get done with it, you might lose your job. It's a lot of incentives. It was fun, dude. You know, my when I ended up with that situation, and I was full time, you know, working from home, but I was full time, so I would go up there, you know, at the end of the month, or after we close an issue and hash out stuff with Dave, and I was working on a bunch of video game novels, graphic novels that we're putting together. I was like, this is it. I'm staying here for the next 20 years. This is going to be my legacy, you know? This is it. And then the fucking recession. You know? Later, sniper. That's what I try to remind myself too. It's like, I actually did end up in a really good place. But this thing like a fucking depression basically hit, you know? And just wiped everything out. Who could figure that one out? If it weren't for that, it'd still be around. Sales weren't the problem. iPad wasn't wiping out sales. That had nothing to do with that. Had to do with after the recession, the advertisement money just dried up. People stopped advertising anything, and the ads killed the magazine fairly quickly. Mostly because they had had another magazine called Geek, and they bled money on that one. Julie and Dave never told anybody. That's when I finally got to go to Comic Con like a baller, dude. Had the booth, everything. Sucked. Sucked losing that. But my family and my father and them, they got to see. They got to see it, So you started learning. Sometimes you don't fail. Sometimes things fail, not and they have nothing to do with you. It's like there was nothing I could do to save that situation. Didn't last long. It still goes because he sold that one off too. So there's still a geek somewhere out there, but they didn't know what to do with it. That wasn't his idea. Julie bought into that one. Dave never liked it. I was developing a line of graphic novels based off video games with Dave. We were doing Death Jr., and then we had another one planned after that. But never happened. Then I went back to t-shirts, and that lasted up until last year. Now I do this. Visibility. That's what I'm working on. Visibility. People being able to actually see what it is I do. Not being the invisible artist in the room and everyone else gets the fucking credit. Another reason why I don't actively pursue drawing comics, because the writer gets all the credit now. So you're better off writing your own material. No matter how bad it is, at least, you know, someone will like it. And if the art's great, then it won't matter. Well, folks, this is it. It's done. Let's see what the backside looks like. Look at that. And now we just rip it in half. No. Don't hold on to anything. Like, that'd be fucked up, right? Now we burn it, you know? So. Yeah. Less than 2 hours, as I figured. So what time is it? Thanks, Gamal. So it's 11:45. Well, it's about time for me to get ready for bed. Okay, I gotta get back to normal schedule. So tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be inking Final Fantasy VII. So if you want to hang out and watch me digitally redraw that, because it needs to be taken care of, then hang out. I gotta get to the post office tomorrow, mail a few things, and get my print station working so I can put up the prints for the noir versions, and then I gotta send copies of this out to the printer. Take another week for those to get back, so I can have prints of this available. So prints for this should be up in the store in the next week or two. No guarantee on timing of shipping. I will ship them right away, but with holidays, I can't guarantee they'll be here by, or be at your place by Christmas. So you all know. Perfect. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I am going to get the speed draw of this up this week and the speed color with commentary of this up next week. That's the goal. In the meantime, I will see you tomorrow. Same sketch time, same sketch channel. Leave the comments below. Email me any questions or comments. I will answer them all. Talk to you soon. Peace. Bye.